up, Airkewld Army? It's your friend Pete, back again. Today, Tuesday, the 7th of December, we're working on the Telez family chassis. We're gonna do something a little bit different this time, and we're gonna put the entire build process in one video. I'm sure you're gonna love that. Give yourselves a round of applause for suggesting it. We're gonna install the front end, we're gonna install the rear end, we're gonna get it on all fours, wheels, air ride, all assembled, installed, shift linkage, run airlines. Everything is going to be done in this video. We're excited to do that for you. If you love this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of it, make sure you subscribe. You can do it right over there in that corner, or we have a link up here in this corner. You guys ready? So we got the table of love set up down here. We got all the parts that's necessary to assemble this. We might be missing a tad thing or two, but with the clever editing that we do, it'll be all done in one video. Kind of go over everything that we've done. We've powder coated all the pedal assemblies. We bead blast the aluminum, torsion covers, brake actuating rod, the lower bag mounts, the spring plates. You saw us do all of the hydraulics in that video, and we'll link it up here as well, and you can see that one. We have all the hardware lined up. We have the shift linkage, we have the cruiser pedal from Fast Fab, we have all the lines, cables, stainless hardware, bags, shocks, and we blued all the components that would normally be raw steel. We blued that. Enjoy that a lot. But I got the transmission ready to go over here. We have the front end ready to go over here, and this guy is going to go from this it didn't do nothing. Well, maybe if I do it like this. The snaps aren't working. Well, I guess we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Let's get to work. We're gonna start with the spring plates. We're gonna be lubing up the surfaces in which the rubber bushings that we get from Wolfsburg Wests, so they go together easily, and we will be fastening them with our spring plate cap stainless fastener kit. We'll have a link below where you can purchase that kit, and we're using an EMPI stainless torsion cap cover. One thing to note, anytime you're using a stainless fastener, you're going to want to use an anti-seize so that the installation goes smooth, and anytime you have to remove it, it comes out smooth. Lubrication is your friend. Take note, guys. Common question the pros are asked: why don't you use torsion bars with air ride? Simple answer: you want one suspension system reacting to the roads, not two, or they'll fight each other. So using air ride, you're not going to have torsion bars. It allows the air bellows and the air sleeve shocks to expand and contract to the environment that it's riding on. Whereas if you had torsion bars along with it, the two would be fighting against one another. For the Telez family chassis, we're using a freeway flyer short axle trans with a 412 ring of pinion and an overdrive fourth. We use solid tranny mounts, and we've been doing that forever, kind of eliminating the weak link of the rubber mounts. Now, rubber mounts are great for non-performance applications. We just like the solid mounts in our application. We are using stainless fasteners to fasten the entire transaxle assembly. All the fasteners are part of our fastener package individually or as a complete fastener kit. Both are linked below in the description. Fastening the axle tube to a spring plate, the bolt must go from inwards to outwards. If you install it the other way around, the stem of the bolt could contact the shock, so you always want to do it this way to avoid contact of the shock in its suspension travel. Another unique feature to this build is our stainless trans bolts, replacing the normal hex bolts. Link for these are in the description below. When assembling the master cylinder, the front firewall requires the firewall spacers. We happen to blue these to keep them from rusting, and we also used our stainless steel master cylinder kit, also linked below. Really cleans up the pedal box area. If you missed it, up in the upper right hand corner, we'll have a link to Joey assembling the calipers and master cylinder in this very cool satin copper finish. Enjoy! It's now time for us to install the front brake line brackets. This time we're going to use 4mm button head Allen cap screws in stainless steel matching lock nuts. It's now time to assemble the lower control arms of the air ride kit. One unique aspect of these trailing arms is they have a small notch on the left hand side, so you're going to get 4 heim joints that are right hand and 2 that are left hand, and that allows you to expand and contract the arm to lengthen or shrink the control arm. We'll link a video of the assembly process up here in the upper right, so you can watch that film and see how we do it in a less speedy edit. Want to get through this video, it's going to be pretty long, so enjoy. When assembling the lower control arm hardware, the bolt washer, misalignment bushing, the heim joint control arm, the misalignment bushing, the axle bearing housing, the shock, the flat washer, and the lock nut. This allows the control arm to articulate and angles under a load and unloaded. This is a unique feature to this rear air ride kit. We're on to fitting the rear calipers now, and supplied with the kit are various thickness of spacers, kind of gauging the idea of what spacer makes the most sense to kind of mock up and test fit and make sure that the rotor and the caliper are centered to the best of your ability. Doesn't have to be perfect, but the more time you spend here, the better the result will be. time to start rebuilding the pedal assembly. We're going to install both the brake pedal and the clutch pedal after lubing the pedal base. We'll be using the factory circlip. Always check your work, make sure that you have proper movement, proper orientation, nothing's sticking, nothing's grinding. You want to make sure you have a good fit here, and lube is, again, your friend. After rebuilding the clutch pedal shaft, the hook, surfacing it and bluing it, we're going to lube it again and install the clutch pedal. This will take a press pin that we will tap in with the help of our main man Joey. It's now time to tackle the shift linkage. We installed a bushing we purchased from Wolfsburg West. We sanded the shift linkage, we painted it, all the surfaces that would be in both the bushing and the shift coupler we left raw, and we lubed them, I guess for a third time. And this is going to ensure that we have very smooth acting shift applications. The grub screws, the shift coupler, once again, all from Wolfsburg West. Make sure when doing this that you tie wire all the grub screws to ensure that they don't come loose during operation. When installing the rear airbags, there's a right Loctite for each job. The bolts that fasten the bag are going to get a red Loctite, and for the actual airbag fitting reducer, it's actually going to get the purple Loctite. This is specifically for hydraulic pneumatic applications. The fitting that goes into the reducer already has Loctite on it, so you won't be using any of the purple Loctite here. How many of you have ever lubed your clutch cable when installing it? I assume most of you have not. but it is one of the causes for cables actually breaking. So we put the axle bearing grease in our hand in a glove, and we run the cable through it, and it runs lubrication throughout the whole tube. Very key. You should do it today. Comment down below if it's something you've done before. So normally we drill some holes here on the frame legs for these air lines to go through and kind of go through the tunnel. But we're going to try something a little different, and we used the punch that we do the seals with, and we created 2 extra holes here. So this is going to go in here, and then we can feed the lines through there, and they're going to come through here and down the tunnel. One key step often missed is actually cutting the airline straight, perpendicular. You want to do this so that it properly seats into the airbag fitting. This will create a leak-free joint. When installing the e-brake cables that are supplied with our disc brake kits, you want to angle the fitting down so that you can get the grease gun to be able to put grease in it. Go figure, right? So make sure you have it pointing down towards the ground so you can get the grease gun on it. So it's touching, like it's not sinking down here, so I'm gonna have to shave this here a little bit so that it sits flat, and then we can work on what angles we need in here to sit against the stock. Alright, so we got the pedals pretty straight up here, but as you see, the mount is kind of crooked down there after we've shaved it. We shaved it straight, but the brake pedal is touching right there. It's touching here, so we're gonna have to kind of U it to kind of get clearance for this. But since this is gonna come this way, we don't want to come so deep here. We want to kind of keep it shallow and kind of come over here incrementally to kind of fit. So I got the pedals in here now, and we did a little notch in there. It's straight. So we're gonna sandblast this. We're gonna file all the surfacing marks off of it, and then we'll blue it so it'll be nice and clean. If you guys didn't know, we started a YouTube group called Victor Whiskey. We'll put a link up in the upper right hand corner for those people who are interested in it, but it's a 100% ad-free experience. That's just one of the many perks being a member of this group. Check it out. The OCD is kicking in here. We're actually going to follow along the reservoir to have equal gap as we bend this line, so it follows the contour of both the reservoir and the tunnel hump down to the other brake line bracket. like to apologize for the camera angle here. I thought I could get wide enough to be able to get this long brake line into film throughout this whole process, but you might see it kind of come out of frame for a tad second or two. Forgive me. So I'm going to start measuring the offset of how far the brake line is away from the tunnel, and then making two bends at once. It makes it a simpler job than trying to do the math later. I really want you guys to see, as we slide this into place, there is left to right movement to center your beam on your chassis to make sure that the car is plumb true to the body. These adjustments are built into the uprights. time to bleed the brakes, and we use this very clever power bleeder. Took it up to 10 bar and made bleeding the brakes, but with a one-man crew, very easy. We'll link this down in the description below for you guys to try it out. Now it's on to the crown jewels. The SLC Furies in 17-inch, wrapped in Nitto tires. These babies are sweet. If you guys like films like this, please click the like button. If you want to see more chassis built by the pros here at Airkewld, make sure you subscribe. Enjoy, everybody. Airkewld would like to thank you for watching today's film. If you learned something new, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Discount codes, product descriptions, links to our website are located in the description below. Appreciate it again for watching. Catch you in the next time.